It is the duty of every man to uphold the dignity of every woman. St. John Paul II said that, and I saw that exemplified in a big way in our culture last week. Maybe you heard, perhaps you didn't, but there's a story about Harvard University and how the men's soccer team were creating lists about the female soccer team and rating these young women and objectifying them and saying vulgar things about them. Upon hearing about this, Harvard University decided to cancel the rest of the young men's soccer season. I'm a young woman in a culture where it feels like a lot of the times when things like this happen, when women are objectified or women are abused or used or violated, a lot of times it feels like the people in our culture, organizations, etc., give young men a slap on the wrist and say, boys will be boys. A lot of times as a young woman it feels like that, and it feels like we're objectified and it's just brushed off and it's just passed away, that is just what young men do and they're gonna do that and there's nothing we can do about it. So this is my thank you to Harvard University. As a young woman, it can be difficult to live in a world where there's not many consequences for objectification or use or abuse of women. We live in a culture where star athletes can rape young women and get off really with a slap on the wrist when face very, very little consequences. So much of the consequences and of the brushing away of these things just doesn't help young men understand that we are not things to be objectified or things to be used. You took this opportunity to teach these young men, maybe they'll learn, maybe they won't, about the dignity of women and that we deserve respect, saying that these female soccer players aren't just objects, they aren't just people to be rated, that they're women to be known and respected, that they're women with facets of personality and backgrounds and histories, that they're people with value and women with worth, more worth than being rated and objectified, that that's not what we deserve as women, that we deserve so much more. So often it does not feel like that happens, and I was grateful to see that at your university in this specific instance that it did happen, that you said women are more than objects, that we are going to uphold the dignity of these young women and say that women have more worth than this in general, and that young men, we don't just brush it off and say boys will be boys. That we teach young men about the dignity of women to say this is not how women should be treated, and you will learn, hopefully, from this. So on behalf of every woman who agrees with me on this, I say thank you for upholding the dignity of women. It is what we deserve. We have infinite value and infinite worth. And you stated that through these actions. So, thank you so much.